Welcome my fellow humans to my YouTube channel. Get ready to be amazed as we uncover 5 mind-blowing facts about the human body. With no further ado, let's get started. Fact number 1. The human nose can detect over 1 trillion scents. To put this fact into perspective, consider the following example. Imagine you are walking into a coffee shop and smelling the aroma of freshly brewed coffee. While you might only be able to distinguish between a few different components of the scent, such as the roasted coffee beans, an AI researcher has claimed that the human nose is capable of distinguishing between up to 1 trillion different scents. This means that the coffee aroma that you are smelling is actually made up of many different scent molecules that your nose can detect and distinguish from each other, even if you are not consciously aware of them all. Fact number 2. The human brain generates enough electricity to power a small light bulb. To give an example of this fact, let's consider the case of electroencephalography, EEG. EEG is a medical test that measures the electrical activity of the brain by attaching electrodes to the scalp. The electrical signals generated by the brain are then amplified and recorded by a machine. While the amount of electricity generated by the brain is relatively small, it is still enough to power an EEG machine, which typically requires only a few volts of electrical energy. In fact, it is estimated that the electrical activity of an individual neuron in the brain is only about 0.0001 volts. However, since the brain contains billions of neurons that are constantly firing, the total amount of electrical activity generated by the brain adds up, making it capable of powering a small light bulb. Fact number 3. The human body contains enough fat to make 7 bars of soap. To give an example of this fact, let's consider the chemical structure of soap. Soap is typically made by combining a fatty acid with an alkali, such as sodium hydroxide, which results in a chemical reaction known as saponification. This reaction produces soap molecules and glycerin, which can be separated and used in other applications. Now, consider that the human body contains adipose tissue, fat, which is composed of fatty acids and glycerin molecules. While the exact amount of fat in the body can vary from person to person, it is estimated that the average human body contains enough fat to make about 7 bars of soap. Of course, it's important to note that this doesn't mean you should go around making soap out of human fat. This fact is simply meant to illustrate the amount of fat that is present in the human body and the chemical similarities between fat molecules and soap molecules. Fact number 4. The surface area of the human lungs is roughly equal to a tennis court. To give an example of this fact, let's consider the anatomy of the lungs. The lungs are a pair of organs located in the chest cavity that are responsible for exchanging oxygen and carbon dioxide between the air and the bloodstream. The lungs are composed of tiny air sacs called alveoli, which are surrounded by small blood vessels called capillaries. When you take a breath, air enters the lungs and fills the alveoli. The oxygen in the air diffuses across the walls of the alveoli and into the capillaries, where it is carried to the rest of the body. At the same time, carbon dioxide diffuses from the capillaries into the alveoli and is exhaled out of the body. Now, consider that the total surface area of the alveoli in both lungs is estimated to be around 70 to 100 square meters, 750 to 1,075 square feet, which is roughly equivalent to the size of a tennis court. This large surface area is necessary for efficient gas exchange and allows the lungs to deliver oxygen to the body and remove carbon dioxide waste products. Fact number 5. The human eye can distinguish between 10 million different colors. To give an example of this fact, consider the color spectrum visible to the human eye. This spectrum consists of a range of colors that can be perceived by the eye, including red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Now, imagine that you are looking at a beautiful sunset. The colors you can see in the sky range from deep reds and oranges to soft yellows and pinks. As the sun sets and the light changes, the colors shift and blend together, creating a stunning display of natural beauty. Despite the incredible range of colors visible in the sunset, the human eye is actually capable of distinguishing even more subtle variations in color. It is estimated that the human eye can distinguish between 10 million different colors, allowing us to perceive even the slightest differences in hue and shade. This remarkable ability is due to the complex structure and function of the human eye, which allows it to process and interpret light signals in incredible detail. Hey, don't make it such a drag. Subscribe to our channel now and enjoy the fun.